My name is Vishnu. I'm the founder and CEO of AssetVault. We're now living in a world where death is no longer a hypothetical concept, especially in the last couple of years. Our whole lives have been shaken apart. And what we are enabling people is we're making intergenerational wealth transfer easy. It doesn't matter. We're all here for a very limited amount of time. One day, that time is going to come to an end. I'm supremely confident that if I wouldn't have started AssetVault in my 60s, I would look back and I say, oh, when the whole world and when India was going on this incredible entrepreneurship ride, I was just sitting by the sidelines and not even trying. Like that's a horrible feeling to have. I don't care if I succeed or fail because I'm already succeeding by learning things. It's literally been like a journey of self-discovery because the Vishnu before AssetVault and Vishnu after AssetVault is like day and night difference.
Let's bring on our next entrepreneur. This is Vishnu from AssetVault. Vishnu, give us your pitch.
Good morning. I'm Vishnu from AssetVault. 5 years ago, my uncle passed away without a will and testament, and I saw the trouble that our family had to go through to figure out what all his assets were. And eventually, it led to an ugly dispute during their distribution. Our mission is to make intergenerational wealth transfer easy and accessible by leveraging technology. We all work extremely hard to acquire assets, home, car, bank accounts, crypto. However, we fail to take the time to protect them. Succession planning is hugely underpenetrated in India. Over 95% of Indians do not have a will, and that's because the current will writing process is offline, expensive, and time-consuming. It costs $1,000 and over 8 months in court to get control of one's own estate. Women are particularly disadvantaged. Without children, if you don't have a will, even your self-acquired property goes to your husband and his heirs, while your own parents get absolutely nothing. India's wealth management industry is expected to explode to $63 billion by 2025. Consequently, succession planning will get a huge boost. We've already secured $300,000 worth of revenues and counting, got commitments of $5.5 million for funding, a couple of distribution partnerships in place with tech unicorns in India to offer AasaanWill as an employee benefit. We're also being featured in a Bollywood film. And the goal is to raise another $1 million to build the future of financial continuity in India.
Are you just going to be isolating yourself in India, or is there some way to get outside? And is there a reason that you're going to be able to outperform Trust and Will in the global market?
So I think India is an incredibly big market for us. I'll just give you some numbers. The total number of people earning more than $1 million is 33 million in the country. So we don't actually have to come all the way to the US. However, we will be supporting Trust and Will's Indian diaspora customers. So all the non-resident Indians that have assets back home, guess what? They need to write an India legitimate will. We're writing assets also to the blockchain because I'm thinking 2030, a world where digital assets will be the norm.
Is your competition the lawyers?
So short, today we do compete with lawyers, but in the long term, the goal is to actually make a paradigm shift of how you collect digital assets or assets in general and help people unlock the value from them. So with us, the fundamental difference is we are 5 times cheaper and you can finish your will in 20 minutes or less because we are an intuitive app from the ground up. We've launched in India in Q4. So we've already written close to 150 wills here in the local market. And every time we charge $175 per product.
Is there a typical customer?
We are going after the upper middle class and the to-be wealthy India. This is the India that's on Netflix Prime. They're making good money by working in the technology space. And guess what? We're going after 50% women because Succession Act in India is antiquated. It was designed at a time when women were not working, women were not expected to acquire their own wealth.
Yeah.
So we're going after high-risk segments like that. The LGBTQ population in India, 15 million people, absolutely no rights when it comes to paper.
Wow.
Terrific. Thanks so much for being on Meet the Drapers. High five.
My pleasure.
He was talking about a whole group of people in India who have sort of been disenfranchised in terms of the will situation, where women have no say in where their money goes, even though they're working, or LGBTQ community doesn't either. So I think it's a really interesting thing.
Neville, what did you think?
They're very specifically solving a problem for India at this stage. There's no doubt about it. There is a hole out here, a black hole. And as you know, India is highly digitized. It's got one of the largest populations which have mobile phones, 900 million phones. If he's able to sort of make this available and distribute it through these devices, he's addressing something very, very important. And more importantly, not many people talk about this in India.
I like this in that I always like when software disintermediates
Exactly.
a population. If it can be done in software, we should do it in software.
And in terms of addressable market, Tim, the upper middle class is a solid 200 million plus there, So automatically, if you start applying numbers in Excel, you get some good numbers, subject to your product being easy and people understand what you're doing. I think there's something there.
AssetVault, you clearly know your topic. You are on top of everything. You know who your competition is. You have a good reason for going after this market. You also have a great sense for where your company will go beyond this.